I am excited to finally share this video with you. Project management is a complementary discipline that helps you run your projects very easily. And the best part is pretty much all professionals, be it an accountant or a chemist, can benefit from it. So, who is this video for? This video is for you if you want to learn how to manage your projects at work. So, it's applicable to every single professional I can think of. I have never seen any professional who hasn't run a project. It just so happens that sometimes they don't know they are managing projects. So, if you are looking for a simple enough framework to understand project management and implement that at work, then you are in the right place. So now let's move to the project management process. First, divide the whole process into some process groups. Like the project lifecycle, there are also 5 groups or phases. Suppose I am a project manager and my project is to build a skyscraper. For the initiation process group, I have 2 important processes. First, develop a project charter, and second is to identify stakeholders. Developing a project charter is like mini project planning. It's a clarification of why you're doing this. It includes deciding and noting down project scope and objectives, a rough idea for the cost and time, key stakeholders, and opportunities. In this stage, you don't have to document these things in detail. After developing the charter, that is sent for approval to the higher authority. After their approval, the next step will be performed. Next, identify who are the stakeholders in this project. In my case, I want to build a skyscraper in a location. So, my stakeholders should be the sponsors of this project, neighbors of that land, who will be disturbed all the time due to a lot of noise, engineers, and workers associated with this project. You may get confused that sometimes I use the term I and sometimes I use the term you. Don't get confused, I'm referring to you as a future project manager. Now it's time to plan the project. Planning is a lot more detailed and comprehensive than initiation. Planning is basically finding the answers to 3 questions. First, what are we going to do? How are we going to do it? And how much time does it need? At the end of the planning process, you'll end up with a comprehensive project plan. This project plan will also include a few items, like requirements, scope, and a work breakdown structure, or WBS. You need to set up a one-on-one meeting or a video conference with stakeholders for requirements and for the scope. You can check out the project charter. When you are doing your scope statement, please bear in mind that what you put in there you'll be responsible for executing. So, try not to go overboard. You shouldn't include anything that is open to interpretation. The more specific you get, the better it is. Okay, since we already have the scope statement, let's move on with the work breakdown structure then. Work breakdown structure is basically a way of breaking down a complex project into smaller, more manageable pieces. You basically just decompose your deliverables. In my case, I will break the entire project into pieces like design and engineering, site preparation and foundation, superstructure construction, building envelope, interior fit-out, MEP systems installation, commissioning and testing, and project closeout. These are basically the outlines of WBS. If I dive deep into each piece, I can divide it into more manageable pieces. For example, if we break down the design and engineering part, we get conceptual design, schematic design, foundation design, superstructure design, wind and seismic analysis, HVAC system design, electrical system design, plumbing and fire protection design, site grading and drainage, and utilities connections. Like this, if I started breaking all the pieces, this video would be long and boring. Keep an important thing in mind. When you are breaking the whole project into some manageable pieces, estimate how much time and cost are needed in each step. So, you have a rough idea about how much cost and time are needed to complete the whole project. We need to determine not only the cost and time, but also how many resources, materials, and manpower are needed at each step. Planning means not only just developing a WBS and estimating manpower and budget, but also identifying and analyzing potential risks and making strategies to tackle them. Basically, I took the example of building a skyscraper because this is one of the biggest projects that exists, so you can get a clearer picture and implement this in smaller projects too. Before I proceed further, please subscribe to my channel. It's free like this mini course. So, we have done all the planning, and now it's time for execution. Before I start explaining execution, pause this video, take a break, and have some coffee. So, as now your break is over, let's continue. Execution basically means carrying out the work defined in the project plan. This phrase starts with hiring human resources and dealing with construction companies for materials. If I consider my project, I should first hire engineers, workers, and architects, then form them into multiple groups and select the leader of each group. That's the initial steps of this phrase. When the work starts, keep stakeholders informed of the project's progress and any issues that arise. Note any changes if required, and approve those changes to the project after discussing them with a specialist. Not only that, but keep your team motivated and focused to execute the task in time. So, the work has started. Now you just have to monitor the entire work. Now, as a project manager, your responsibility increases because you have to track actual progress against the project plan using metrics like schedule variance, cost variance, and earned value. Not only that, but in this phase you have to allocate resources efficiently, keeping an eye on the budget to keep the flow of the project. In this phase, you may have to do some cost cutting and allocate the budget to the department in need. Suppose I do some cost cutting in building materials and allocate that budget to the electronics and interior department. When work starts at its full potential, monitor the project schedule and take corrective actions to address any delays. Every project has its own risks. With every step, some issues must arise. If not, then you're lucky. Project management is not about luck. It's about hard work and risk management. You should always have a plan to identify and eliminate the potential risks. Talking about risks, there are so many types of risks. In different fields, there are so many different types of risks. Construction projects have potential risks like cost overruns, funding issues, market fluctuations, schedule delays, site accidents, technical challenges, weather conditions, etc. IT projects consist of some major risks like technological obsolescence, security vulnerabilities, budget overruns, schedule delays, integration issues, etc. As you can see, every project faces some issues, at least once. So, as a project manager, you have to be prepared for every type of challenge. Your project has been completed. Wait, darling, I'm not finished yet. After monitoring and controlling, the fifth phase begins, which is project closure. In this phase, some key responsibilities should be done, like arrange a meeting or presentation to showcase the completed work to the client or sponsor. This is an opportunity to highlight key features, functionalities, and any other relevant aspects. After that, prepare the formal acceptance documentation, often called a sign-off document. This document should outline the deliverables and acceptance criteria. Then request the sponsor to review and sign the acceptance document. This serves as an official record that they acknowledge the completion of the project deliverables. No one wants problems in the future. That's why formal acceptance is essential, because it minimizes disputes later, provides legal protection, and serves as a foundation for future work or contracts. Congratulations, you just completed my mini course on project management. Thanks for being with me the past 30 minutes. I hope you find this video helpful, and if you did, please share it with your friends and professional network in LinkedIn. See you in my next lesson.